Hello, everyone. How is everybody? I'm just gonna wait a few more moments just to let everybody get back on. I will say we are going over this worksheet right here that y'all have from 2 to 4. We'll try to get through as much as possible, and if anything I can't get through during this live, then I'll post it on the Facebook page. But that's if we can't get through it all. If we can, perfect. If we can't, then that's where I'll post the rest of the answers. But I just want to give everybody a few moments to get on. Hi, Destiny. Hi, Gracie. How is everybody on this wonderful Saturday? Also, I know North School students have been asking me. I know we weren't able to get to the North School. We're gonna shoot for tomorrow. Um, I know, a little panic phone call. Um, so I'm gonna try to get up there tomorrow. And then if I can't, then I'll let you know. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I had to answer that. It was Alana. There were things I had to mute y'all. So we're back. We're on. We're fine. I'm sorry. Anyways, so let's get through this. So your 2 to 4 assignment. Um, so the first part about I know, I'm sorry. I don't know when the hours will be sent out. Hopefully here shortly. If not, then I'll just check it for you. As far as the North School students going to the school to get their things, I'm gonna shoot for tomorrow. I just didn't have any childcare tonight. Um, we're here. and I'm not bringing them up there because so there's that. Hopefully tomorrow will be okay. If not, then I'll definitely come up there Monday no matter what. I'll just, you know what? We're here. All right. So number one, speaking faux pas. Let's shoot for 3 o'clock. So let's do tomorrow. Just let me know if which one works better for y'all. Does Monday or Sunday work better for y'all? Just go ahead and tell me now. Either way, I'm perfectly fine. You don't send it to anybody. It's looking like Monday works better for the majority of that have commented. So why don't we just do Monday after the last live? That way everybody has time to get up there. We'll also look at the live schedule then. I don't have it yet. So once we get the live schedule, we'll look at a time. Let's shoot for after the last live. So let's say like last live ends at 6. So let's shoot for 6:30. I might be like 2 or 3 minutes late, but let's just do 6:30 on Monday. That'll probably be a little easier for some of y'all, just because I don't want y'all to miss any of the lives. So, and also if those either one of those don't work for you, you can always text me and I will make an accommodation somewhere. We'll set up a time. Either way, it does not matter to me. So number one, we're talking about speaking faux pas. So we need to correct some of the things that we typically do. When we get in a rut and we get complacent with what we're doing, we kind of have this like grammar that we would use with our friends, and that's perfectly fine with your friend. It is not perfectly fine with a client that is paying you money. So number one, I have went there before. So you can have something like I have gone there before or I have visited there before. So no problem, Ashley. Welcome. Even if it's a couple minutes late, we're perfectly fine. So I have went there before isn't the worst one on here, but just say something like I have gone there before or I have visited there before. It's just a little more professional. Um, yeah, exactly. I have been there before. Or I have been there in the past. Those are perfect. And guys, there's no whatever y'all have on y'all's paper for this kind of thing, as long as it's in the realm of what we're talking about, that's perfectly fine. Um, so the second one is, um, I want y'all to give me something. So what would you say instead of I would have been on time? Because I have a lot of little late people. So what would you say? How would you try to smooth that over that you were late? Could have been on time. That's a good one. Perfect. Sorry for being late. I will be on time next time. Perfect. Sorry, I was running. Yeah, exactly. So any of those would be perfect. Either, I could have been on time. I should have been on time. Sorry for being late. We'll be on the next time. I'm sorry I'm late. There's no excuse for that. Um, exactly. All of those are perfect. Um, all of those are, I mean, we kind of talked about it before in one of the lives. Not me, but I know Molly said it, to be on time is, or to be early is to be on time, to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable and irresponsible. So there's that. All right, so moving on to number 3. How could I help you? Someone says, how could I help you? How may I help you? Hi, Maria. Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's get started. How may I assist you is perfect. How may I help you? How may I assist you? Those are the two that um so how may I help you is what I have, and how may I assist you is perfect as well. So can I shampoo you now? Can you? Can you? All right. May I shampoo you now? Are you ready? Um, things like that. Um, may I shampoo you now? Like, are you ready for your shampoo? May I is always pretty much like the way to go. Um, would now be a good time for shampoo. That is perfect. I say that all the time. I'm ready to shampoo when you are. It's just what I do. I'm sorry. Um, may I cleanse your hair? Hey, there you go. When you're ready, let's head over to the shampoo bowls. There you go. All right. This cleanser works good on dry skin. This cleanser works good on dry skin. On your little lizard face. There you go. This particular cleanser works best on dry skin. I like that. Yes. Cleanser is great for skin that needs a little more hydration. There we go. We're using our clues. All right. So, this cleanser works well on dry skin. This cleanser is perfect for hydrating the skin. It's a little bit more dry. Um, this cleanser works extremely well for dry skin. Perfect. All of those are perfect answers. There's no one right answer to these. These are all kind of what you take from them. It's just working on our grammar a little bit. So I can do your nail polish change now. I mean, I guess I can. Can you? You can say something like, may I do your polish change now? Or are you ready for your polish change? When you're ready, I can do your polish change. Let's start. Yes, I'm ready to start your polish change. All of those are perfect. Let's start your nail polish change. All of them are perfect. We're good. Just don't be like, I guess I can do your polish change now. How rude. I would, nope, not doing it. All right, number 7, put your bag besides the station. First of all, where are we from? You mean place your bag beside the station. Perfect. Exactly. Would you like to put your bag beside the station? Because there are some women, or I mean anybody that's carrying a bag. A lot of people, a lot of times they're, because we are in a school setting, a lot of times they're not comfortable putting their bag there. And leaving it behind where they can't see. So sometimes they just want to keep their bag with them. And yes, it's a little annoying when you're at the shampoo bowl and there's not a lot of space and you're tripping over their bag. But at the same time, like, they have to feel comfortable too. So again, you may place your belongings on the station next to me. You may put your let's put your bag at my station. And you'll see it a lot of times with women that are older and somebody that, um, yeah, if it's now visually clean. Um, a lot of women that are older or someone that carries a more expensive bag, they're like, nope, nope, I'm not leaving it behind. We're just not. I am. Although I definitely leave my bag in the office all the time. So I guess I'm not that way. But when I'm not in, perfect. Would you please put your bag beside the station? That's perfect. Um, but a lot of times women aren't just going to leave their purse behind. A lot of belongings in there. So icebreakers with your clients. This was something that I struggled with a long time because I'm not somebody, well, I am now, but I'm not somebody that just sparks conversations all the time. Like I just, mm. So icebreakers are perfect for y'all. You're like, okay. So icebreakers. So general topics. These could be anything in the world. Perfect. Have you visited before? Um, things along that line. So when we're talking about general topics, there are a few that I have. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Are you from this area? Amen. Perfect. So all of those are perfect. Quarantine, huh? That's our new icebreaker. All right. So when we're talking from our textbook, because I feel like all of these are kind of catered to us now in our lives, but catering to our textbook, one of the general topics is, did you run into any traffic on the way to the salon? Easy topic. Easy topics are always going to be traffic, weather, things like that. Um, have you tried the new restaurant downtown? Especially if you're in a smaller area. Ooh, voice crack. Um, if you're in a smaller area, um, checking the restaurants that are new to town, things along that nature. They're easy. Any restaurants you recommend, especially if they're from there. Um, so again, easy general topics. Um, how do you like the weather we've been having? Did you see the game last night? Those are easy topics that aren't super super personal, but are like still enough to spark a conversation where they start to feel comfortable with you. So then our next one are going to be work topics. So work topics. What kind of work do you do? Um, I'm not familiar with that type of work. Can you tell me more about it? Have you started any new shows is always my favorite one because I always like to know what people are watching. Um, but again, work topics. What kind of work do you do? What do you do for a living? I'm not familiar with your line of work. Can you tell me more about it? That's where it starts. You'll kind of see some people get really agitated with work questions because they come to you to relax. But again, there's some people that absolutely love what they do. And exactly. So, can you tell me more about it? What's new in your industry or line of work? What's the economy? Has the economy had much effect on your business? Has the quarantine had much effect on your business? Something that they don't have to go super personal with, but something that can start the conversation. That is the key. You always want to start conversation. But then again, you also have those clients that just want to sit there and like just relax and not have to talk to anybody. So you kind of have to find that fine line of balance. So perfect. What do you do for a living? My friend is interested in that. Any tips that I can share with them? That is perfect. What's, oh, you'll have some clients that you don't even have to ask for it. They'll just give it to you. So personal topics. So this is where we kind of go into a little bit deeper, but still kind of staying on that top level of we're not trying to ask them for every little detail of their life because honestly, I'm not I'm not interested past this color. I'm not interested past this facial. I'm not interested past this haircut. Although you do have some clients that end up being your friends, so that's kind of where that is. So personal topics. Um, how's everything been going in your life lately? That's more like when you have a client that's been with you for a while or a couple times, and then you can be like, "So how's life been?" But someone that's brand new to you and you're like, "So how's your life been?" They're like, "Mm, okay." Exactly. Keep it simple, stupid. Um, so how's everything going in your life lately? What do you enjoy doing when you're not at work? Exactly. And the thing is, you have to kind of have a memory with your clients and ask them about things that are going on because that kind of gives them a little like warm and fuzzies with themselves when you're talking about things that like they've talked about before and now you're talking about them and checking back in with them. So there's how did your daughter's concert go last month? That kind of brings that person back to you. Um, so again, what do you enjoy doing when you're not working? Um, your name is so unique. What's its origin? What is the origin of your name? And you can ask something like, I like your shirt, where do you go shopping? Things like that. What's new with your family? Yeah, have a notebook and maybe write down just a few notes from your client, especially when you're first beginning and um you kind of start remembering each client and they kind of stand out a little more. It's great to have a notebook and yeah, that is a good point. I wouldn't ask about their children, unless they somehow bring it up because you do not know um what they're experiencing in that area. That is perfect. I feel like a lot of times people forget about that, and it's kind of sad. All right, so salon and spa topics. So, um, like your book says, your look is classic, fun, natural. I love the design you picked out. Perfect. How much time do you have to spend on your hair, skin, nail services today? Whatever that service may be. Have you been here before? Um, this one I would kind of steer clear from simply because this can either backfire on you or learn what the last person did, and you can know that you should not be going in that area. But that is, what haven't you liked about your previous hair, skin, or nail care? So if it's their at home care, you can ask it like that. But if it's the person that they went to before, you're opening up a whole can of worms that I don't think you really want to play with. Um, how long have you been coming to the salon is perfect. How did you hear about our salon? All of those are perfect. What would you like to accomplish today during your visit to the salon is perfection. Okay? Perfection. That is the question that we should be asking. All right. So, again, just asking them what they want to achieve with their service today is just like a big boost to them because that shows that you care about what they're wanting to achieve with today's. stuff going on. All right. So now let's go to listening skills. Okay. All right. So focus your attention. Okay. So be aware and informed of what is going on around you, is the main one. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've had some interesting haircuts in my life before, like clients or being around somebody. Like my first, I'm not even gonna tell that story. Um, no. So focused attention. Okay. Yes, we are basically licensed therapists that just have a different license. Um, okay, so when it says focused attention, you want to maintain open listening and avoid prejudging. That's the biggest one. You want to have an open dialogue with your client. You don't want to shut that off because once you shut that off, it's hard to regain it. Be authentic. Ask questions to show a sincere interest. Pay attention to nonverbal messages. Notice body language and other major ideas communicated. Listen all the way to the end and don't assume you know the ending. So don't assume that you know what she's about to say because it's gonna turn left real quick. Um, Understand that listening is not waiting for your turn to speak. So remember, um, you're here to listen to them, okay? You're not listening to voice your answer. You're listening to understand, okay? So if you're not listening to understand, you're listening to respond. And when you listen to respond, you interject, you cut people off. You don't even realize you're doing it half the time. And that is the problem. The fact that you need to listen to understand and not listen to respond. Recognize that listening requires intention and energy. Um, so avoid an in and out listening pattern, be present in the moment. So always remain in that conversation. I know it's very easy to kind of focus on something else, but you want to kind of pay attention to this. We're going over these answers. Um, so if you have any of them wrong or you have any that you need to fill in, just fill them in. All right. So moving on. Respond, acknowledge or clarify communication. So you're going to reply to the speaker to affirm you are listening. Remain silent to give the speaker time to breathe and think, then prompt if necessary. And then use periodic comments such as go on or tell me more to prompt the speaker to continue. Okay? So again, that's reply to the speaker to affirm you are listening. Remain silent to give the speaker time to breathe and think, then prompt if necessary. And use periodic comments such as go on or tell more to prompt the speaker to continue. Okay? So then our next one for number 3 is going to be repeat. So verify communication by restating. Okay? So restate what you heard to achieve clarity. So that's saying they give you information, you're going to be like, okay, just so I make sure I am understanding this, this is what you said if we're having that kind of conversation. Or it's as easy as saying something like, wait, so your daughter's going this place? What are like just to kind of make sure you have that correct. Um, so listen for details and repeat factual information to gain um, accuracy. Okay. So paraphrasing. Translate what you heard into your own words. Okay. Show your understanding by putting the other person's thoughts into your own words. And then the next bullet would be summarize the meaning of what has been communicated. Okay? So again, show understanding by putting the other person's thought into your own words. That way you kind of just understand it a little bit better and it's easier for you to pick up and remember. And then summarize the meaning of what has been communicated. All right. And then the next one is question. Um, expand clarity, expand, clarify, and confirm your understanding by questioning. Use open-ended questions to gain additional information so that you fully understand what is being said. And then use close-ended questions to verify that you have understood accurately. Okay. So does anybody have any questions on listening skills? Nope. Cool. All right. So speaking. Oh, repeat the first one and 5. Okay. Focused attention. Be aware and informed of what is going on with you or going on around you. And then 5 is expand, clarify, and confirm your understanding by questioning. That's it. Um, 5 is asking close-ended questions, not open-ended questions. All right, so now we're going to move on to speaking. So what I want y'all to do is I'm going to say the word and I want y'all to give me some points. All right? So I want to give, like, when I say honesty, I want you to give me some things that you think would comprehend into this lesson. Okay? So number 1 is honesty. Tell me how that would correlate with what we have going on. Yes, integrity goes along with honesty. Admitting when you make a mistake. If you mess up, be honest about it. Giving your client genuine feedback. Perfect. So it's just the genuine communication. So giving your client genuine feedback. Giving them an accurate time frame of how long this may take. Accountability for yourself. All of these are perfect. Um, but yes, giving your client genuine feedback is all right. So our next one is clarity. Our next one is clarity. How can we bling, bling, bring clarity into the situation? Stay clear, stay clear-headed to be more focused. Perfect. Letting them know that you understand what they like. Perfect. Speaking directly and intentionally. Job. Good job, Chandler. Chan. Being transparent about the services you're doing, making sure everybody understands the final outcome, having knowledge of what your client needs and wants. Don't be distracted. Pay attention to them. Perfect. All those are perfect. But I will say, I feel like Chan had perfect one of communicating directly and intentionally. All right. So number 3, appropriate vocabulary. Making sure your client understands your policies. That. Thank you. All right. So appropriate vocabulary. I myself have been in this situation where, we get around people that we're comfortable with, and then all of a sudden we're just a little out there. Don't use slang or swear. Watch your Yes, watching your mouth in a professional setting and not swearing. Do not use slang or cuss. It can even be appropriate context. A lot of times, especially um, especially back when I was like first becoming an instructor, I feel you, Miranda. I'll feel you, sweet baby. So, appropriate context, like when I was first becoming an instructor, 90% of what the students talked about when I was a student instructor was what they were doing that weekend and like who they were going out with and what they were drinking the past weekend, and that's just not appropriate. A lot of times I was in phase 1, so there weren't any clients around, but at the same time, that's still not appropriate context. I feel yeah. Okay, so pitch. Pitch is everything. So what are some things that we need to remind ourselves with our pitch? Because sometimes that can be taken as being snarky or you're being rude and you're not even trying to be. That's just your tone of voice. So again, keeping it sweet, keeping it simple. You don't have to you don't have to be overly sweet because sometimes that comes off even worse than what you would just normally be like. But yes, stay calm and respectful. Exactly. Monotone can come off as insensitive. But just know monotone sometimes can feel real abrupt and harsh, and being overly sweet can feel fake. Um, it's just one of those things where you kind of have to have that happy middle for you and also cater to your clients. Like if you have someone that's kind of abrupt and harsh, 9 times out of 10, someone that's super bubbly and sweet is going to annoy them. You just have to kind of like cater to your clients and just keep a professional tone that's not so monotone that you are feel like a robot, but you're not so overly sweet to make it feel like it's fake. So just kind of that happy medium, keeping it light and fresh in your conversation. So rate. So when we're talking about rate, we want to make sure, yeah, using your phone voice. Exactly. Think about how you'd like to be spoken to. Perfect. Talking slowly and clearly. So you want to make sure that you're talking in a way that is clear and it's slower, but it's not so slow to where they feel like you're talking to them like they're stupid, but it's not so fast to where they can't understand it. I'm a fast talker. Everybody in my family is a fast talker. Everybody has a hard time understanding everybody. It's just how we are. See right here, I'm getting faster and faster and faster. Mm, okay. So, that being said, I have to remind myself to speak slower and speak clear without making someone feel like they're dumb as a box of rocks. All right, force. Force is a big one. Sometimes we become a little too harsh with ourselves. Like Trisha Paytas, where she like went on, I think she went on The Voice or American Idol or something, and all she did was like speak fast. She said she was a rapper. She was just talking really fast. Yeah, Alona does have a good rate of speed. Perfect. Not being too aggressive. You want to be um kind of assertive in a way. That way your clients don't think that you don't know what you're doing. And then they can feel like they are superior to you because bottom line they're not. I'm just kidding. But you don't want to be intimidating or aggressive, perfect promise. But you just want to make sure that you are assertive enough to where you it looks like you know what you're talking about. Because I hope you know what you're talking about at this point. But it's just the point where if you have the right amount of assertiveness, then it does not feel like it is your second day of school and you are incompetent. All right, questioning. This is also something where this can either make you feel like you are a day one student or been doing this for 20 years. The amount of questioning. Exactly. If it's something you don't understand, ask 110%. Do not ever do the assume thing. Um, exactly. Following up an action with a question to make sure that they like it. Perfect. Keep the questions light. Yeah. I feel like we all do that where we just are like sometimes a little too scared to ask. And then you have one person in the class that'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to ask this question because you know what? I need to know. Because a lot of times, a a lot of the time there's going to be one or two people in there at least that have the same question as you. Can we use a lot of professional words? I would keep it to a minimum. You don't want to talk over their head, but you also want to make sure that you sound like you actually know what you're doing. So keeping the professional words kind of lighter. Yes, close-ended questions. This is when we're asking them. All right? Perfect. The biggest thing is to be on the same page as the client, and that is correct, Monica. All right, so flexing strategies. So number one, tune in to how others will tune in to how others will be um, confirm interacting. So it's just basically being in tune to your the crowd that you're catering. Okay, so being in tune to how others will be confirming interaction. Find things in common with others is number two. So finding things that are in common with others, that being either the people you're working with, your clientele, your boss, like things like that. You just kind of want to make sure that you are as flexible as possible. Um, show concern and compassion would be number three. And then use questions to demonstrate interest. Anybody have any questions on flexing strategies? What was two again? Find things in common with others. Number two was find things in common with others. Um, tune in, or number one was tune in to how others will be um, confirming interaction. Number one is basically being in tune to your surroundings, being in tune to the conversations at hand, being in tune to the interactions that the people are having around you. It's just basically being in tune with everything that's surrounding you. Number two was find things in common with others. Number three was show concern and compassion. And number four was use questions to demonstrate interest. Does that clarify that up a little bit? Because I know number one, even on my key, is worded a little tricky. No problem, Brianna. We'll see you later. All right. So the two terms that we have, basically, yeah, number one, read the room. So I'm gonna type these in here just for spelling, simply because I don't want y'all to get this wrong on y'all's terms. So number one. All right, those are the two terms. Just want to make sure y'all have them. Communication and inflection. So for number one, communication, it's pronouncing clearly and correctly. So for number one, communication, pronouncing clearly and correctly. All right. And then number two, inflection is the changing pitch. Okay. So again, number two is changing pitch. Anybody have any questions on that before I move on? And guys, like I said earlier, I'll be posting the rest of the answers in the Facebook chat, and y'all can text amongst each other back and forth. Number 1 was pronouncing clearly and correctly. But again, because I know I'm going to run out of time, there's no way I'm going to get through the rest of this. But I'll be posting the rest of the answers online, and then y'all can just text, or all the rest of the answers in the Facebook chat or Facebook group. And then that way y'all can text back and forth to the people that don't have social media. All right. Okay. So let's get through body language at least, and then bye, Jen. Um, if you don't have Facebook, I guarantee you know somebody that has it. Um, it's in the group, and then just kind of text amongst your people. Okay, so facial expression, gesture, look, or aspect of the face. Um, hold on, I'm gonna get to that here in a second. I'm gonna get through these facial expressions and everything, these 5, and then we can just talk that out. So facial expression, gesture, look, or aspect of the face. You're going to want to offer a genuine smile at all the people that you meet and greet. Pay attention to what your facial expression is communicating. Avoid negative facial expressions such as a furrowed brow, frowning, or twisting of your lips to one side. And that is my constant facial expression. If you want to do that, you can put it up there and then delete it right afterwards. You can put it up there for like a minute and then take it out. So again, that was facial expressions. Our next one is going to be eye contact, and that's the direct gaze of 2 people looking into each other's eyes. Make eye contact as soon as you start a conversation with someone. Use it earlier if you want to gain his or her attention. I'm not saying don't be careful, but I put my phone number in here and nobody's texted me, so I'm not worried about it. Make eye contact as soon as you start a conversation with someone. Use it either if you want to gain his or her attention. Use eye contact throughout the conversation to demonstrate interest. Avoid prolonged staring into another person's eyes. We're not looking for love right now. We're looking for a client. Avoid looking over the other person's shoulder as though you find someone or something else more interesting. Do not look past them because that it could be taken as offensive because you're just waiting for the next thing around the corner. Gesture, body movement or mannerisms. Use a firm and steady handshake, so no limp wrist handshakes. Express confidence by keeping your hands out of your pockets and avoid fidgeting. I fidget all the time. Nod your head up and down occasionally to affirm you are listening. Avoid gestures that may display negativity, such as clock watching, finger or foot tapping, pointing your fingers or crossing your arms over your chest, or swiveling your chair like I do. Can't help it. All right. Posture, carriage, position, or stance of the body. Position yourself with your stomach in, chest out, shoulders back, head up. Plant your feet about 6 to 8 inches apart and stand or sit with a straight back and avoid slouching. All right. Lean forward to communicate. I'm interested in what you're saying. Leaning away might say, I've had enough. My facial expressions are a roller coaster, okay? So then proximity. Nearness of another person or nearness of another to one's personal space. Um, Avoid positioning yourself too closely, which comes across as you're pushy or threatening. Yeah, I know. Avoid positioning yourself too far away, which comes across as distant or standoffish. So I need to do this all the time because I'm like, which won't. So does anybody have any questions about those five? Any questions, concerns? It looks like I'm only gonna have to put the last page on there, which is perfectly fine. I didn't think I would get to the end of it anyways. All right, so those five. Do we have any questions, concerns? Something? Nope. Okay. All right. What do professionals recommend? What do we recommend? All right. No problem. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that we recommend, yeah, eye contact. 100% eye contact. Eye contact is going to be the one thing that affirms you. We're not doing the reptile of the day. Not doing it today. The last four, I'm going to go ahead and just tell y'all it's what we do, how we look, what we say, and how we say it. Professionals recommend confidence. Exactly. So if you have confidence or eye contact, you are perfect. And again, number one, what we say or what we do, how we look, what we say, and how we say it. Those are the four at the bottom. All right. Also, it's easier to text me than email because half the time the emails don't get sent out. I don't know what's going on there. When I send all of you emails, it goes better than when I try to send it to one person. So just text me for the answers if you do not have Facebook. I'm not texting every single person because I know who's on that Facebook. Don't be trying to just text me to text me. Some of y'all do. I know y'all. I see who you are. Bye, Rihanna. Bye, guys. I miss y'all. I'll see y'all Monday. For school student. I'll see y'all Monday. And then I will get this last page of the key to y'all here shortly. Okay? So I'm going to leave this on for just a few moments. So everybody, that's perfectly fine. Lily, you can text me. I'm going to leave this on for just a second so everybody can log off and get their final roll. I try sometimes. No problem, Destiny. Do you have a theater? I have never done theater once. I used to do dance, so there was that. We have facial expressions for that. But I've always been someone that has a bunch of facial expressions. All right. Well, I will see y'all, North School students, on Monday. And if I see y'all in another live before then, I'll see you there. All right. Have a good night. Bye, guys.